renewal of mind and reconfiguration of our thoughts that we are able to position ourselves to receive all the blessings that God has set aside for us. For it is not us who are waiting for the blessing, but rather the blessing that is waiting for us to be in the right frame of mind to receive it.
Greetings, family, and welcome to another episode of Dr. Mumbi Spirituals. My name is Dr. Mumbi Saraki. How you doing? How's everything going? I really do pray, family, that you are well in all your ways and that you are anchoring in the life you want for yourself, the life you envision for yourself, the life you desire for yourself, because that is the opportunity that is open to you right now, family. Your thoughts and your emotions and your energy and your attention focused in on your life is gonna manifest the things you want from the depths of your heart. Not in lack, not in, oh, I'll never have it, but just from, I should be living like this, I have this, I have that. Like you should be living more like what you have in your heart and your mind if you've done the necessary work, family. And we will actually be starting some courses because we've been getting a lot of emails, family, people asking us if we do courses or if we can share more information. We're thinking of starting with like a Dr. Mumbi Live soon, like a podcast where we can share certain information, because now it's really you, like just knowing how you operate, so you can take advantage of the changing of the guard, of the handing over of the inheritance. Like collectively as a melanated people, we have broken the chains that was on our group consciousness as an African people, all the whitewashing, all the lies, all the history stealing, making her story his story, the inversion, making the world upside down and back to front. All of that has faded now, family. And we are really in a new dispensation. And so just be aware of that. Special shout out to everyone that supports us on Patreon and has continued to support us during our massive death and resurrection. I mean, that's the only way to describe it, family. That happened on the last blood moon. You might notice a little bit of my scar. And for everyone who sent us healing donations, who sent us herbs, who sent us crystals, my heart goes out to you. May you be abundantly favored in this season. And, may those that guide and protect me honor and guide and protect you as well, family. I was touched by how many people, sent their positive energy my way. And I'm so, so appreciative of that, family. So, we're in a brand new season. A very, very new season, family. And I recently did a short show where I was talking about, the transition, the crossroads, how March, which is the real final year of their calendar, this fake calendar we're on, how that is actually the real end of year, and how April was a real new year. And there was so much that was done occult-wise in March, because that was when we were really breaking through. And there's so much support that's happening, even if you look at on a collective level, family. Like with all the planets that have been in retrograde and doing this and doing that, the moon went from being like a crescent moon that faces like this, like we always remember, or like this, like we always remember, to making a smiley face with, I think, Jupiter and Saturn and all this stuff. So if you look, family, even with these physical eyes, because I'm hoping you're starting to see spiritually now, but if you look even with these physical eyes, you will see and you will know that we are in a new dispensation. We are in a brand new dispensation, and it's just like, it's landing more, it's like fresh. It's like we're coming into it more. And that's why when you look at what's happening internationally, there's this whole situation where they're busy, changing of the guard, people taking the crown, changing things up, trying to introduce a new coin. Like there's a lot happening on the geopolitical level. Because the sleeping giant is awakening. Has awakened on a group conscious level, but we all have to do that final work within ourselves to change our individual realities. And as we change our individual realities, we change the collective reality, family. We have to know that it's all about consciousness. It's all about frequency. And frequency can be looked at like narratives. If you want to look at it through the logical mind, it's all about the stories we tell ourselves, individually and collectively. The story started to change for the motherland when we started to change the story we were telling the world about the motherland and each other about the motherland. Technology has actually worked in our favor, family, because it has been an awakening and an acceleration of our people, of the great mental spell, of the great mental slavery that we were under. It has awakened our people to the point where it reached a certain tipping point and the group consciousness awakened. And you'll realize, even when we've been talking about this with my friends, how even when you're talking to your parents, even when you're talking to the die-hard Christians or the die-hard Muslims, there's a certain awareness and of just reality, even if those are still pillars, family. Because collectively, our eyes have been opened. And now it's just denial that is keeping people in that mental slavery. It's denial. Because they made those suffering from religious psychosis and stuff like that addicted to their narrative, addicted to their reality through fear, through panic, through anxiety. Like, if I don't believe this, then what's gonna happen? And that's the psychosis I talk about. It is crazy. Having, as a former Catholic who's come out of that, it is so crazy to break yourself off that mental addiction. It is not easy, family, because you're hardwired to almost panic that if that goes, something terrible could happen. And I've talked about how, when I had the accident, which could have been an abduction, I'll do a whole separate show on that. The die-hard Christians were actually almost celebrating this happened so I can move away from my new agey, foreign doctrine and saying that this has happened because I had talked about Muzungu Jesus and just the toxicity, family, that came before and after from ants who were trying to say, oh, come speak to my pastor, come speak to my prophet. They will save you, but you have to realize it's only this God. They don't even know they're worshiping the Jewish God. They don't even know that, family. That they're worshiping that Mzungu entity they say in their minds. Christianity is a military tool that was designed to make the African think that the Mzungu is God, to break that connection with you, being in such a deep connection with the Most High and with your own, the creative spark He has put inside of you, being in such communion that you don't even know a separation from God, to them creating this artificial separation. And a lot was done. This was beaten into people, this was raped into people, the worst was done to create this indoctrination, family. But there are members of our society and our community, those that are religiously in Christ, those that say they're Christians and they serve a merciful God, were actually happy. And there's even a seer, a friend of mine who's a very powerful seer, and I was like, how did I miss this? And of course, I got the signs, I'll do a video on it, family. I got all the signs and the symbols, but I was kind of ignoring it, but there was a lot that was going on multiple levels. Associating with low-vibing people and having our realities merge also exposed me to this low-vibing attack. which has been used in my favor. So it's very complicated spiritually, family. But there were people who felt that because I walked away from Mzungu Jesus, this happened to me. And sadly, the people who are thinking like that are the so-called baby boomers, those who now control the assets, the little that the African has in his possession. And they love the Mzungu. Some of us still have parents who are hoping we'll marry Mzungus, who actually think going to Europe is still the best thing for our lives, who are that brainwashed and that deep in the religious psychosis. And I share all this to say, family, that as a collective, our consciousness is now free. We are no longer in this tight binding, but we have been given the responsibility to re-educate ourselves, to relearn, to re-over-inner and understand, and to reteach ourselves and to reteach our children, and to share those teachings with one another, because that is what liberated us, family, is the fact that so many people were shown the lies that Babylon was telling about the motherland and the truth of what the motherland is, that it broke that mental yoke of slavery. And we can't go back to that time. There is nothing that can be done to take us back to that. And so now other tactics will be used on us. Intimidation, fear. But in order to make sure that that doesn't affect us, we have to make sure that our wins, that our story, that our history, ancient story and new rebirthing story takes center stage in our hearts and in our minds. And work on liberating yourself. Remember, when you are liberated, the most you can do for the global Black consciousness and for the global group consciousness and for all humanity is move into the life of your dreams, of your wildest dreams. Move into joy and happiness and creation. And that will have a ripple effect on everyone else. Concentrate on what is happening daily. If you want to know where you're at, look at what is happening in your life daily. And we have opened up spiritual direction sessions, spiritual counseling sessions, a spiritual conversation with Dr. Mumbi, basically, where we take, we do a one-on-one conversation, intuitively guided, spiritually led, on where you are in your life right now and what shifts and changes are coming for you or you need to initiate. So if you're interested in a spiritual counseling session, definitely be in touch, mumbi.saraki@gmail.com. And if you'd like to sponsor a show, special shout out to everyone that supports us on Patreon and sends us gratitude donations through PayPal. The links are down below. If you'd like to sponsor a show, family, and help the awakening movement to continue, definitely email us for more details, mumbi.saraki@gmail.com. Until next time, tuko pamoja.
It is only through the renewal of mind and reconfiguration of our thoughts that we are able to position ourselves to receive all the blessings that God has set aside for us. For it is not us who are waiting for the blessing, but rather the blessing that is waiting for us to be in the right frame of mind to receive it.